Do you know, just out of curiosity, how much your family has lost in income and purchasing power since Joe Biden and Kamala Harris have been in office? The average, get this, the average American family has lost over $29,000 in real dollars due to inflation and dramatically increased prices on just about everything we buy. Now remember, that's the average. So many Americans have lost more. Some have lost less, but everyone is worse off. Now, would you like 4 more years of that, huh? I mean, can you really afford it? If you're having a hard time making up your mind as to how you're going to vote, I want to ask you a few questions and try to be as honest as possible in answering them. Have you had to cut back on taking trips or going places because of the cost of gas, eating out, and hotels and airfare? It's just too much. Are there items in the store that you used to purchase that you don't buy at all, or maybe you don't buy as much of, such as eggs, meat, fresh vegetables, or fruits? Have you laid aside plans to buy a new home or even upgrade the one you have? Has the spike in interest rates caused you to hold off for another year or more on the purchase of a new vehicle? Do you find yourself being much more intentional about turning off the lights, taking shorter showers, or turning your thermostats to a less comfortable temperature just due to the cost of heating and cooling? Have you put off some medical or dental procedures because you just couldn't afford them? Have you found that you had to cut back on your charitable giving to your church or organizations that you really want to help, but you just don't have the spare funds? But beyond the economic issues that have a direct and dramatic impact on your family's lifestyle and comfort, here are some other questions that you need to honestly ask yourself. Does it bother you that you are required to show your photo ID to get into an office building or cash a check or get on an airplane, but illegal immigrants walk right across the border and immediately get free housing, medical care, food, education, and they never show one single document? Yeah, I think our audience is pretty clear on that one, don't you think? Are you concerned that about 20 million people have stepped right into our country without so much as a background check or a health screening? But you, get this now, you are required to bring your child's birth certificate and a record of vaccinations just to enroll your child in school. Does it bother you that recreational facilities that were once used for youth sports are now being used to house large numbers of people who are here illegally? Does it bother you that to drive a vehicle, you not only have to pass a driver education test and have a valid driver's license, but you also have to carry proof that you've paid your taxes and have proof of having registered your car, bought the license plate, and insured your vehicle? Are you a little ticked off that every day you read news reports of people here illegally who drive unlicensed and uninsured cars, have no clue about traffic laws, and have never obtained a valid driver's license and end up killing people in what would have been a preventable accident? Are you outraged when you learn that someone who has committed multiple violent crimes has been released on the street only to rape a young girl or brutally murder a college student who's just out for a morning jog? So if these things really bother you, but you end up voting for the people and the party who support the things that upset you, will you do me a favor? Write me an email and explain why on earth you're going to do that. Because I, for the life of me, cannot understand it. Now, you're going to hear me say often before the election that 40 million self-professing evangelical Christians do not even vote in a presidential election. Think about that, 40 million. If even half that number would register and vote, every election in every state for every office would be impacted. If you don't vote for a government that you want, you're going to be stuck with a government that you deserve, but it's one that probably you'll never comfortably live with. Let me put it this way. I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you. You got to do that. But for Pete's sakes, get registered Learn the policies of the candidates for every office from school board to president. Pray about your vote. And above all, go and vote, because we owe it to our children and our grandchildren to give them a country that they can afford to safely and securely live in. Hey, thanks for sticking around. Since you made it here to the end, that must mean you liked the video. So you might as well subscribe and hit that notification bell below. But if you really hated it, just click the like button 3 times.